right. Let's get these cameras going. Say good morning to everybody. Good morning, guys. It's Saturday Sessions. My goodness, we got any people watching yet? Let's see. Why isn't Facebook working? What the heck, guys? Come on. Let's see. Trying to get all these platforms to connect for us here. It's just a big pain in the butt sometimes. Don't know why Facebook doesn't want to rock and roll. So, welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. We've been kind of prepping our canvas. We took a little bit of our Bob Ross liquid clear, put that on the canvas. Now we're doing our blue, right? We got our blue in the center, and then we're putting phthalo green around the edge. And I just got to make sure that the Facebook broadcast is going to start. We got to get going, guys. Come on. Oh, why you got to be like this morning? Come on. Oh, guys, I don't know why. I don't know why Facebook won't connect, but I can't not go. I promote all week that we're going to go on Facebook, so I don't know why it won't connect. Just give me a second. God, this is where we lose tons of people. Just every time. Every time we have a problem, we're just going to lose tons of people. So just hold on, guys. Just one second. Let me see if I can get this thing to connect. Check my internet connection. The internet connection's good, you clown. What are we doing? I don't know why this won't work, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, it's so irritating me. Just really irritating. I don't know why it's doing this. So let's take a little of our phthalo green. And you know what? A little of our sap green, too. I love that sap green color. Just kind of around maybe a few of the edges. So we have all three of our two greens. And then our blue color, which is our Prussian blue. We're not going to use too many colors. I like doing these scenes where you don't have to have too many colors rocking and rolling at the same time, right? And so it's easy. When I very first started painting, I was intimidated by all of the colors that Bob Ross would use. He'd have all these gorgeous sunset colors, and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can do all that, right? Like, it's kind of crazy. Maybe I'll just stick to like 3 or 4 colors, and maybe that'll work a little easier for me. And it did. When I started my very first one, it was a 3-color painting. And ever since then, we've started more and more, and it's gotten crazier and crazier, right? But I figure I like doing little limited palette scenes, monochromatic, trichromatic, quadrichromatic, if that's even one, I don't know. I didn't go to art school. I saw that on Instagram. I think it was Crispy Creations. He put, oh, I'm doing a trimatic scene, and I was like, is that a thing? I don't know. I never went to art school. I just call it limited palette, limited colors, limited tools, something like that. So we'll take our green, we got our blue on the inside, just adding a little bit of blue in different places, and then it'll come and just shine through. And then I really have to see if we can get Facebook to work. Like, I need Facebook to work. I don't know why it's not working, but just one second, guys. You guys are going to tell me where you're watching from, what's your favorite sandwich, check in. Everybody's got to check in. Don't know what the heck. Hey, oh my heck, we got a sale already. What's the sale? Oh, Reen ordered this painting already, you guys. I think it's this painting anyway. Let's see. I don't know what is going on here with Facebook. It's so irritating. What is going on, you guys? Oh, this really makes me mad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. I gotta start live video. I tried that. Appreciate it. You know, maybe we could do it right. Oh my God, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. Hang on, you guys. I swear, we're right here. I swear I'm going to be back. I just have to get the other stream going. I don't know why it's doing this to me on Saturday Sessions. I don't know why. Why you got to do this to me this morning in front of all these people while we're trying to do a thing, and I don't know what the heck's going on. It's really making me mad. So let's see if this will work now. Maybe this will work. Here we go. We're going to try that. Oh my heck, you guys, it looks like it's working. Finally, it's working. So, now that we're all stressed out, welcome to Paint with Josh, Saturday Sessions. I'm Paint with Josh. Welcome, everybody. We've been doing paintings for about 4 years now, and as you can see, I've taken my 16 by 20 inch canvas. It's going to look something a little like this. The people on YouTube can't see the one underneath. But I'm going to do a waterfall instead of a seascape, right? So I took my 16 by 20 inch canvas, covered it in our Bob Ross liquid clear. As you can see, it looks a whole lot like this now that we have all the streams going. It's a whole lot like that. all over the entire canvas. Took a paper towel, wiped it all off, right? Because you can have too much. You can have way too much, and it's really going to be bad for you. And then I took our Prussian blue, did that in the middle, and took our phthalo green around the edges, and a little sap green around the edges on top of that. And now we're ready to rock and roll. So let's clean this brush off. You guys are going to check in. Tell me, what did you have for breakfast this morning? And where are you watching from, right? Where are you watching from? What did you eat this morning? Did you have pancakes? Did you get that bacon? Me and Bram were talking about bacon last night. It made me hungry. Did you miss that one last night? Don't worry, I saved it. We're going to post it on YouTube a little while later on today, once we can get the streams going. I got to go pick up London at the airport. We got to get... I got to pick up Bailey from her sleepover. It's just going to be a crazy, crazy day. And then we're going to come back and paint later as well. So, let's do this. Let me grab a little fan brush, just like that. Nothing too crazy, right? And all we're going to do is come up here and make this gorgeous greenish, bluish, waterfallish thing. It's going to be really cool. A little portal painting with a waterfall. Every time I do this waterfall scene, it seems to sell. So I'm just going to keep doing it every so often, because we don't want to lose everybody, right? So, as you can see, I've taken my moon stencil, right? We used to use a cake pan, a little bit smaller, and then I made one a little bit bigger from a 5-gallon bucket and a cardboard box. All I did was flip the 5-gallon bucket upside down, trace the lid in marker, and then went around the edges with a razor blade and cut it out. So, let's do this guy. Every time we do the waterfall too, we do it a little bit higher. It's not right in the center. It's a little bit higher up, which is going to show all these gorgeous colors, you guys, right here. Right? All we're going to do is push it in. Make sure it's sort of even on each side, and it can slide, right? It's very slick and wet on the canvas, so try not to let it move. Let's come up here with our little bit of white, and all these colors are going to just shine through. Look at this. You guys, try not to move the thing. There we go. Coming around, coming down to Chinatown. Here we go. Coming around and around and around, and a boom, right? But we're still not going to move it, because we need it there to sort of provide a little, like a backboard for our brush to hit, so it doesn't go inside of our little moon stencil, right? We want to keep our eclipse very dark on the inside, and that way we'll be able to keep our scene, whatever we put out there, it's going to be very neat. Now, the cool thing about these is you never want to do them just perfect, right, where everything is shining exactly the same all around. So I like adding little bits where we throw it out to the side, push it a little bit farther, and then we're going to take our brush and really stretch it out anyway. But you want to do it like the minutes of a clock, right? Just like you were pulling out, you're trying to paint a clock out here. And so we're going to pull out these little minute hands. And down here at the bottom, we're going to have our waterfall coming out, so we don't have to really paint all the little auroras, or auras, whatever they are, down around the bottom. And I haven't added any new paint to the brush, just using whatever paint we can get to come off of the brush that was already there, right, to come off. Now, I'm going to wipe that off on a bit of paper towel right down here without moving, and reach over to get new paint, get my big old head in your guys' way, and then we'll come up here. Now it's fresh white paint, so be careful. It's going to be super bright. Right, so touch with less pressure. If we're using, more paint or fresh paint, touch with less pressure than if we had, less paint on the brush. We're going to have to touch with more pressure. So every so often, chuck a little bit out, a little bit further, a little bit shorter. Right, here we go, coming back in. And again, we're going to have our waterfall come out the bottom, so nothing really to worry about. Just make sure your little lines look like minutes of a clock hand, right? That's pretty much it. So they all got to kind of be going out at the right angle. And if they're not out at the right angle, then it's really going to look sort of funky. And it's going to look like it's moving, or it's not a sun with a moon crossing it, right? Let's get a little bit more paint. I like having these really, there we go, really bright little things come out. Sharp little bits. Right? Sometimes where it's real bright around the bottom, you add a little bit more paint. Slide it out like that. Ah, it's going to be so cool. You guys ready for the most cool reveal you've ever seen? All these different colors. Ooh, it's going to be neat. Ready? 1, 2, look at that. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. I mean, is there anything better on the internet today than this painting? Come on, guys. For real. For realsies. This one is just going to be fantastic. Look at all these different colors. And take our guy over here, and this is why we leave that little backboard up, because sometimes you can get a little too close without that third P, right? Anybody know what the third P is? Our third P of Paint with Josh? Because a lot of times you need that third P if you're going to be doing little things, right? Little teeny tiny things. Let's see, does anybody know the third P? Give you guys a shout out here. Valet says chat says practice, that's right. Jacqueline says practice. We got tons of people that say practice over here. Lori says practice over on Facebook. 740 Card says practice. Country Native says practice. Tinker over there on YouTube. Everybody's everywhere. Arrested Eye says practice. That's right, guys. The amount of practice that we have determines how good it's going to be, right? How can we expect to be good at it without ever practicing it, or practicing it, not practicing it enough? You know what I mean? Look at the difference when we swipe. Oh, it like softens them out, brings our little aura out to our edge. So gorgeous. The more we go, the more you pull. Oh man, just wicked. Just wicked. Just be careful. Don't go into your center. Don't go into that eclipse bit. It takes a lot of practice to be this fast at it and not go inside, right? You don't have to be this fast. I'm trying to keep everybody entertained and move, right? Let's see, right to the edge. A little bit of pressure. A little bit of pressure. A little bit of pressure. Bam. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Look at how gorgeous it is when it just lights up down the end. Oh, fantastic. You guys just love it. Perfection. There we go. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And then we'll put a scene in there. It's going to be excellent. Just like this. Now we'll have this waterfall coming out. Gonna be the coolest thing you ever did see. Just excellently done, right? So let's see this over here. Fix our little edge. Fix our edge just by pushing it back out. The dry brush, right? Every so often, even Josh comes inside the circle. So dry brush right along the side, and then you can push that little bit back. Just no worries. And then we're going to put a scene on the inside anyway. It doesn't have to be perfect on the inside. Excellent, you guys. Keeping that dark separator, right? That's the thing we talk about all the time, the dark separator. Okay, now we're going to come in, take a little bit of white onto our brush, and put some clouds in there. It's going to be very cool. Watch this. Very cool little bit of scene right here, right? We're going to start right at this little area anyway, so it doesn't really matter as long as you mess up in that spot, right? Come in, just start writing in cursive. Little crazy things. Pop up, pop down. You get all these cool little tip tops to our clouds. Little sharp areas, little, it's just very cool. Look at this. Don't want to go outside, right? Don't want to go outside the circle. But we know, based on our second P, right, our P2, what's going to happen when we start pushing on all of these little clouds, right? Our P2 is what, guys? What are we talking about? For anybody who might be new, who needs your help in the comments to wonder, what are we talking about, right? What is that P2 that we need? Our pressure, right, Jacqueline? Jacqueline knows. We got people from Sweden watching. Kim Law knows pressure, right? Pressure, guys. Country Native knows pressure over here on YouTube. P2, right? Our 3 Ps. 3 Ps of Paint with Josh. I don't have my 3 Ps shirt on, but the 3 Ps of Paint with Josh are the amount of paint on the brush, right? When we first load the brush, the amount of paint that we put up there. Then the amount of pressure is our second P, our P2. Amount of pressure, right? How much pressure are we pushing on this canvas? You got to take a test. You're going in for a job interview. You know what I mean? Like you're waiting for that bank loan. How much pressure are you under right now? Where you're just wait, right? That's how much we're just deciding to push on this canvas. And our pressure decides how far the clouds will grow, or how long the waterfall will be, how long our auras, or how thick the amount of line, or whatever. You know what I mean? All the pressure. And then a third P. Anybody know the third P? Help this guy I'm explaining it to. Help him out. What's the third P of Paint with Josh? P3, right? We got P1, we got P2. Now we're looking for P3, guys. What's P3? Tell me in the comments. Practice, Jacqueline. That's right. So we got paint, pressure, practice. There we go. I almost dropped the brush. Paint, pressure, and practice. And that'll help you paint anything from an eclipse to a cloud to a mountain to trees to a face to a portrait to whatever. The amount of paint that's on your brush, the amount of pressure that we're pushing on the canvas, and practice is most important, guys, most important. Most important. A little bit of, I just knocked a little of the paint off the brush by touching it onto my paper towel. Just touching it, hitting it down on the paper towel, dabbing it off. Just so I could bring a little bit of color. See how it's much darker? Because I knocked some of the paint off the brush. And now all I'm doing is using that smaller amount of paint to interact with the paint that's already on the canvas inside, creating those little teeny tiny bits of clouds, right? Little things. Come up here. Oh yeah. Now you can pick up some of that darkness from here, and then you can deposit it over your lighter areas to bring in shadows, to hide little things, to make your clouds more full of depth, right? Grab some of that from down here, pop it in up there. You never see, adds a little bit of shadow. Come over here, pop it in over there. Why not? Adds another little bit of shadow, right? Take our little piece down here, very softly, very softly. Just like that. All you want is that little bit of background color so our river can start coming out of it. So we're going to wash off our brush. Gotta have a clean, dry brush. All right, we've only used, really, a 2-inch brush, the fan brush, and the 1-inch brush as of right now, right? And then we're going to add a filbert brush to the mix, right? So that's 4 brushes now. 4 brushes, 4 colors so far. We're going to take our white and come in here. And whatever color that's underneath up there is the color that our moon's going to be, right? And in order to make a moon, we're going to take the brush, push it flat against the canvas so it stretches out like this, and then we're just going to spin it, and those bristles are going to make a little circle, okay? So we're going to take it like that, and come up here, touch down, push flat, ready? And then we're going to rotate the brush, keeping it pushed hard against the canvas, a lot of pressure, spreading the bristles all the way out, right? So they go all the way to the edge, and then you rotate and rotate and rotate, trying to keep it inside, boom. And every so often you get a little dark hole in the center because you pushed it on there. Just go across it, very lightly. A couple little dabs, a couple little drags to the side, and poof, got a wicked little moon out there. Just awesome. Just awesome. Gorgeous little moon, right? And the bigger the brush, the bigger your moon's gonna be, the more you push in, the more you move your brush once it's inside the circle, the bigger it's going to be, and then you're going to have to adjust and rotate and slide it around and use your eyeballs, right, to see. Ooh, that's cool. It kind of pulled in some of the darker color from around the edges. That looks really neat. I don't know. I know Reen would like that, but in my own mind, somebody else is going to look at it and go, oh, that's a mistake right there. There we go. Gorgeous. It's got to have a little bit of discoloration anyway, right? All right, now we're going to take our little bit of our fan brush, a little bit of white paint on it. And we're going to come from the, actually I don't want a fan brush that's that big. We're going to use a little brush, a little smaller little guy. Just get the same paint, same white, right? And all we're doing is using these limited colors. And because we took and covered the canvas with the color underneath initially, right, our undercolors, it's allowing all of these beautiful colors to shine through whenever we touch them with our white paint, which is really cool. All right, now let's say back here, we're going to have the water come down, and then, like, this one's coming out of the portal and onto Reen's floor. That's where it's going to end up. So let's see. I used to put, in some versions, I put a couple trees back here, like those little hash mark trees that are in the back. But the more and more paint that you add on, the harder it becomes. So let's just take our brush back here. Just start working in a little bit back and forth, right? Small brushes help. Little bit of paint. Just coming in like that, way off from the distance, right? And you can change it, you can adjust it, you can do whatever. A little bit bright, come over here, now we change, we go back. Right? It hits a little bit, curve backwards, right? Making a little V shape. And I'll show you how it all plays out. But you gotta keep those little dark areas in there, right? Now watch, we were pulling this way, right? We're coming from the left, pulling to the right, now we're going from the right, pulling to the left, and all of a sudden, that starts to look like a little bit of water out there, rolling towards us, right? And then again, we come to a point where we hit, start going back the other way, just like that. All you're doing is making like a little S shape, right? And then we're going to go back and fill in grass and different things along the end of it. And we can decide what we want it to look like. The further and further and further away it goes, the softer and smaller it gets, right? Again, we're coming from this side, so we're pulling from left to right. Just making it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then maybe have like a little baby waterfall come in there. All right, little baby guy. We'll make him a lot brighter and bigger, so don't worry about it. But I'm just trying to whet your palate, so to speak, right? Keep you interested back there. Now we can decide to come in with grass, trees, meadows, sticky tree, all sorts of stuff. All depends on what you want to do, right? All depends. So I'm gonna knock the brush off. I didn't clean it, right? Just dabbed it off on a paper towel again, so it's still sort of green. And all we're gonna do is add a little bit of white, and then we're gonna add one more color, which is our yellow, our cad yellow, the brightest yellow. Tap that into the greens. It's so bright, so you gotta dull it down with its own shadowy green self, right? Just like this. And what happens if you go and you touch it and it's too dark? Go back and add some white, right? But if you go and you touch it and it's too bright, it's very hard to get rid of. So, very carefully, maybe an inconspicuous area down here. Cool, looks like a bit of grass, right? So we're gonna come back here, tap it, tap it, tap it, up into our little corners, right? Just like that, where our river bends, just around the river bend, right? Everybody knows Pocahontas. There we go. I haven't seen Pocahontas in years and years and years. Leaving the littlest bit of darkness right around the edge. Right? Just like that. If you come right up to the side and you leave our little dark separator, it's really going to help you. A little bit of our grass back here. Look at my brush. We're changing the angle, going down like this. Almost like we're going up a little hill back there, right? Now watch. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to start. I'm going to go to the side. Come back to the same spot. I've turned my brush a little bit, right? It's not straight anymore. It's kind of tilted a little bit down. We're going to go back right underneath that guy. Back to the same spot, underneath that guy. So you start to build, you start to see the land kind of turn. All depends on what you want to see, right? Not trying to cover up all the dark, not trying to cover up all of our water behind there. It all depends where you want to see a little bit of something, right? And obviously way far off in the distance, we're not going to see anything. So maybe take our little guys over here, add a couple little bits of grassy waterfall just by turning the brush on the corner and tapping downward, right? Very cool. Very cool, guys. What do you think about this one, Reem, the buyer? Madam, what do you think? Yeah, this looks awesome. Oh, I dig it. Just make the waterfall in the grass. Let's see. That's only the first waterfall. This is a double waterfall, guys. It's a doubler. All right, we're gonna come in here with our white paint. Not too much, right? Too much on brush. You can always go back and add more. You can't take it away. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna go to the side and down, like a backwards 7, right? Instead of going this way to make a 7, we'll go down this other way, over and down, just a little bit. Doesn't need to be much. Over, down, over, down, over, down. Little things, right? Little baby bits of water coming down. That's it. That's really it. That's all you need for a waterfall, right? You're like, well, yeah, but that sort of looks kind of funky. Well, what you got to do is take your white that you had on your brush and you start, oh, let's do this guy over here too. There we go. He's falling off the side. You start pulling back that little tip and it starts brightening up the rest of the water back here. But we don't want to brighten it so much that it's all the same. Right? So little things, sliding it over, making some areas brighter, some areas darker, and all of a sudden it looks kind of tumultuous as it starts to roll over. Change our angle a little bit. There we go. It comes down. Very neat. Very neat. All with our amount of paint on the brush, how much pressure we have, and practice, of course, right? Always practicing. We paint almost every day, so that's a lot of practice. We're going to take our 2-inch brush like this. Same thing, go over and side, over to the side, over and down, over and down, over and down. Just to soften it a littlest bit. That's all you got to do. All right, so we've still only used 4 brushes and 5 colors now. So come in here with our white. This is the fun part. This is where you may need a lot of white paint. And we left our order right here because our waterfall is going to fall out, right? So we got to decide. The glare is just so bad today. We're going to decide. Maybe our water comes down and it hits right back in there, right? That's where the water starts, our new section of river. Now, without going too far outside of the lines and keeping our little dark separator, start leading it forward, right? It starts to come out. Coming out this way, just going side to side to side to side. Then we decide where it falls out of its place, right? A a little bit back here, trying to get as close to the edge as I can possibly get, leaving that little dark separator. And then it'll look like eventually, once we hit the actual eclipse, that now the water is on the outside of it, right? And you don't want to pull it over like that. I want to keep that nice and straight. There we go. There we go. Now we're going to have this awesome little bit of river. It's coming out this way, flowing out. Right? All depends on the angle and everything. Very neat. Now I'm going to get a bigger fan brush because we need a lot more paint on it and a lot more space will fill up quicker. So we're going to get just like load the brush up like it's a palette knife, trying to scoop it onto the knife onto the brush on each side, right? Then we're going to decide that we had our river back in here and it comes to the side, starts falling over, right? Falling out of our portal. You decide which way, how much, right? How far you want to go to the edge, how much of the water, what angle it's coming out at. Remember, you got to pull it back a little bit, so give it some room to look like it's falling, right? Very cool. Very cool. Bring it out here, out there. Check this out. Add a little bit more paint. And then, that's like that, guys. Just falling out into nothing, into space. Into the space, the world beyond worlds, right? The space beyond spaces. So what are we going to name this one? Reen usually has a pretty good title, and she's good about naming her own pieces that she buys. But what are we going to name this one, guys? Start coming up with a name. She might need your help. And a lot of times, if you get to name it, she'll give you a shout out, which is kind of cool. She'll say, hey, I want to name it this because, pick a name, any screen name, said that, that made me think it was a cool title. Very neat. A couple little more splashies in here. A couple little splashers. This one's going to look so cool, you guys. Just taking that little bit of mist out there, trying to get it close to the edge, get that little bit of mystery. What's going on? What's happening? What's happening out there? Take our 2-inch brush over to the side and down very lightly. Right? All it does is soften the paint down. Look at these other colors as it goes down, guys. Get these things light up as they go down. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, that's so pretty. Just gorgeous. Cosmic Lighthouse bought this one, guys. So, Cosmic Lighthouse needs a name. Needs a name for this painting, guys. We need a name for it. Very cool. I love this little bit. It just falls out to the side. And don't you think at all that we're even close to being done. We still have to go fill in all sorts of this stuff, but the waterfall tends to take my attention, and it just like, I feel it like it's growing. The waterfall is moving, you know what I mean? The water's actually moving, and so I have to finish it as it's moving. Very cool. Very cool. You guys. All right, now, let's take a little bit of our phthalo green, a little bit of our sap green. We're just going to pull it out into our water back here. So we have those little differences in color. Right? A little bit as it's getting a little bit crazier. It's starting to get closer to the edge. And then it goes and falls over the side with those same angles, right? You can't change the angle. You got to keep that same angle as it was. Otherwise, it'll look all screwy. Look all weird. And you'll look at it and go, mine doesn't look like Josh's. I can't figure out why. No, the angle's all weird, right? Okay, now we're going to come in. We're going to make a couple trees and a couple bushes. This is really all we're going to do, okay? So, in order to make the cool little tree, right, our little fat little, like, I don't know, it's kind of like a cherry blossom tree, I guess, sort of. It's not really the same shape. Maybe it's like an elm. It's just a fat leafy tree. Just a leafy tree is what I like to call it. A lot of foliage and stuff, right? So we're going to take our little fan brush. He's going to live back on this little spot right here. And then we can go back and highlight different things. So let's take just a few very lightly, and then you push down more and more and more as you get closer, right? And then we'll have a couple little branchies off of this guy. And they're skinny up the top. And don't worry about it, you're not going to see a lot of those branches, right? And then make our little trunk of our tree right down there, and then we can cover him and do all sorts of stuff. So then take our little bit of one of our favorite brushes, the half round brush. Start going into that blue, the green, right? Not too much of the green. We want to keep it nice and dark. Blue, black, a little bit of the green, dabbing it up. Look at all this texture on the palette, on our brush, and it's going to transfer onto the canvas, right? So we're going to come up here and start dabbing into our little bit. Right? You don't want to push too hard, so go back, get some more paint. You got to make sure it's nice and thick and textured. Get those very cool little bits, right? Very neat. Trying to cover some of our clouds, some things. Make it hang over a little bit. All depends on what you want your tree to look like, how far it goes, the angle of it, everything. Right? How far they come down, how close you get to the sides of your canvas. Right? All helps it make it look more like it's a globe. The closer we get to the edges with these colors, the less it looks like a hole that we're looking into, and the rounder it looks, right? So, just like that, now we're going to take the same brush, same colors, okay, same blue, same black, same crimson, put it down here, little bits, just like that. Oh, gorgeous, right? Sitting down there, covering up all that stuff, all that little mystery, and then we can put a big old tree growing up out of him, and maybe we had this little guy just living out here on the edge, trying to get some water, just trying. He's like reaching down, trying to get some of that water. Very cool. Let's wash off our half-round brush. One of my favorite bush and foliage making brushes that Bob Ross had. Right? It's just they get just nasty and beat to death. So, awesome little brush. And I like to use the same brush, or at least the same size of the same brush, to highlight the tree as well. Now, we don't need a whole lot of paint because it's not the focal point, right? We're off in the distance. This is the focal point. This is the pretty part. So back here, let's go back and just brighten up a couple little areas of the grass. A couple little bits, right? Nothing too crazy. Little things. Don't make it too bright, because our brightness is going to come in our front. Right? So just lighten it up just a touch. You know, a little bit of the light of the moon back there, maybe off in the distance, like a couple little bits. A little bit darker as we get down here to the front, right? Very cool. Now, I'm take that same old half-round brush and go into my green and the yellow and just dab into it like thick, right? And then we're going to come up here with such light pressure, light little pressure. Otherwise, we're going to mix all those colors and mush them all together, right? Just tapping the canvas, and whatever comes off, comes off. It's a nighttime scene. We don't have to see every single little branch, every single flower, every single leaf. It's dark out, right? So we're going to have a lot of dark spaces. So the more you push on it, the brighter it's going to get, and also the more times you push, the more bit of mud you're going to make, right? So just like that, guys. It looks really cool. Cute little tree. He's a cute little guy. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, now let's add in a few little things. There we go. I like that. I like that. Now, I'm going to take a little of our white, just a touch, a little of our green and yellow over here, because we're working with these limited colors. And I'm just going to touch a little bit on the trunk of that tree, and then just kind of rub it in, right? Don't have to have a whole huge amount, just to have it kind of stand out. The littlest bit. All you got to do is touch it that smallest little bit, and then we'll have a little bit of sort of trunk, right? But you want to keep that dark separator in there. So make sure you got a dark line in between those colors, right? And that helps your tree kind of stand out in front over here. Very cool. And this guy, we'll cover him up with grass anyway. Little bits of his trunk. Maybe he's got like a little branch starting to grow off the side over there. Very cool. Very cool. Go back to our grassy brush. It's got a little bit brighter color on it. Come back in. There we go. Just tapping over him. It's going to help hide its base in the grass. Very neat. Very neat. All right, go back to our little bush making brush. It's got all the green and yellow on it. Tap back into there. We're going to come over here onto our bush. This is why we want it, our grass back there, to be darker colored, right? Not as bright. Because we're going to come up here and add all this brightness. And if your grass is the same color as your bushes, It's not going to stand out. Oh, look at these little bits of flowers just leaning over the edge. Oh, they're like, we want some. Well, there it is. Perfect. Right over that white. Oh, just amazing. Oh, amazing. They're just hanging down there going, we want some of that water. Give us some water. Give us some water over here. Okay. Well, we got one more little bush since we got the same colors. Go back into that yellow and the green. We got one more little guy out here. He doesn't need a lot, though. There's barely any bit of bush out here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right there. Perfect. Amazing. Amazing when it just actually works. When it actually does what you want it to do, and it actually works. Okay. Now we've got one final piece. Cosmic Lighthouse is probably looking at this one going, this is just fantastic. I love it. There's nothing else he could do to make it any better. It's just great. You just wait. You just wait, because the most fun part is coming in. Our big bravery test, right? Gotta have our big bravery test. So, you guys, she goes, I do love it. You guys tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? And are you this brave to do this? What's coming up next? We're gonna get our fan brush. We're gonna load it full of paint. And if anyone's ever seen Bob Ross and you heard about the bravery test, you know what's about to come. Just a big, giant tree coming straight through. We could either do it on this side of the moon, we could do it on that side of the moon. Right or left, guys? You tell me. You tell me right in the comments, right now. Right side of the moon on this side, or left side of the moon coming into the scene? You guys tell me now. Tell me now in the comments. It's going to be a race. Left, right, left, right, 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 left, left, right, 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 left. Okay, it seems like there's more rights. Right, 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 right. Major Leagues is like, right. Okay, we're going to go on the right. Little bravery test. Here we go. From the top. Ready? Take a deep breath. Here we go. Very light pressure coming down, and then the more and more and more you come down, the more and more and more you push in. Boom! Till you come down and you hit our little thing right there. Gorgeous! Just gorgeous! Right? That's your big bravery test. You gotta put a big old black line right through the whole painting. Right through the whole smash. Now, where's my liner brush? Here we go. Let's get a little bit. I'll be right back to the canvas. Don't go anywhere. Just got to get a little bit of my odorless mineral spirits, my OMS. Right? We decided that odorless mineral spirits is too many syllables to say, so it became OMS. We're going to put that into our dark color, same color we just made the tree branch out of, or the tree trunk out of. We're going to come in here with our bit of our line, extend it outside, right? The top went outside, so our branches can go outside too. Outside of the eclipse, makes it look very cool. Couple little things. Here, there, and everywhere, little dark branches starting to come out, grow around. Maybe you go right through the moon, maybe not. Maybe you skip around. Maybe it's holding the moon. It's just caressing it, just sitting in its little branch, just like that. Very cool. Little things here, there, and everywhere, and you get these soft little things. Then we'll go back and highlight a few of them so they stand out. Up into the auroras, though, or the aura of the sun, I guess, then you don't need any brightness on your brush because it's going to stand out against that dark. Make it real sharp up at the top. We got our one little branch. He's over there. And over here. One on this side. Out. I love how they stick out into away from the eclipse, right? Now again, I'm going to come back a little bit of that yellowy green, littlest bit, pulling it out flat so we get the smallest little touch. And then we're going to come in, we're just going to start touching on our trunk, and it's going to start leaving little teeny tiny bits, right? We're going to touch and pull away. Touch, pull away. Trying to stay on the moon side, on the left side of the tree. And then you get those little bits of green highlight, turns it into like your bark on your trunk, right? You don't want to do the whole tree. You got to leave some of it dark like that. You just gotta. Okay, we're gonna come in here, mixing up our little bit of our liquid white with a little bit of that yellowy greenish color, just to see if it'll come off our brush a little easier. And now I gotta set this guy down. And Cosmic Lighthouse, what do you think of that tree addition? You gotta be loving that tree. Gotta be loving the tree. So, I'm gonna have to highlight our little branch that's holding our moon, right? But I don't want to touch the moon with the highlight. You gotta kind of save it, and that little bit of dark line around it. We'll come back, get some more of our lighter color, just so we can go across our little bit of branches and have them light up. I know you guys can't see this part. This one's sold. I have to make it look good. So, little bits, right? It's nighttime out. Doesn't have to be the brightest thing you ever saw. Definitely not. Definitely not. Oh, there we go. A little bit more of our yellow, and you get those little things, right? That little bit of light right on the edge of our branchies. Very cool. Very cool. So a little bit of yellow on our brush. All right, it's all about finding the right color to do it with. What's going to stand out the most. A little bit of branch, and then that brightness is going to feed out into the darkness. You don't have to continue the bright, because then it's going to be too bright. It's going to be bright on bright, and that's not good. Nobody wants to see too much brightness. There we go. Little things here, little things there. A couple bits just to grab your eye and lead it to the end of the branch. That's all we're trying to do, is just take our attention out towards where the tip of the branch is. Branch, my man. Coming underneath our moon. Right, leaving that little disconnection between the moon and the branch of the tree, so it looks like they're not the same thing. Very cool. Little things, guys, little things. I like that. Stinking neat. That is neat. Very cool. Man. All right, we're going to take our little guy, our little favorite branch, stick him out right there. Those ones that like poke straight out. You walk by and they hurt. They hurt you. You know what? Let's try to stick, if we can. We'll put our initials and kind of engrave them into the tree, if we can do that. Down in here. Oh, it's working perfectly. Just got to fill it in with a little bit of color. And then we'll have, it'll be like I was out here and carved my initials in this tree. There we go. And it sort of looks like a little bit of flowers, like it gets lost inside there. Very neat. So, have we come up with a title for this painting? Because it's about done. All we got to do is spray in some stars and stuff. And this one's about to be finito, which I think means finished. I don't know. I just heard that somewhere. Let's see. Come in here. Little JK. I like how green it is over here. Ooh. Very cool, guys. Very cool. So, guys, can you believe it? We hit 202,000 over on Instagram, 277,000 on Facebook, and I think 266,000 over on TikTok. It's crazy. Crazy, man. And we hit 15,000 subs over on YouTube. Woohoo! 15,000, baby. Now, if all of you people, all of you hundreds of thousands, can just go over to YouTube and make that one hundreds of thousands as well as all the rest of them, man, we'd be sitting pretty. We'd really be sitting pretty. So, let's see if we've got a name yet. Cosmic Lighthouse. She loves my art. Anything spacey. She loves the spacey stuff. So, I very much appreciate her love of the spacey stuff, because I like painting spacey stuff. I was telling Bram last night when we were doing our paint sesh that it's been so long since I painted on white canvas firstly, and painted a regular old landscape, I don't even know if I still remember how to do it. Okay, we're going to come in with our liquid white, take a little of our titanium white onto the brush. That way it's not so thin, right? We're thickening it up just a touch. Then we're going to come out here and just start to flick. Little teeny tiny flicks. Out there in the deep darkness of space, right? Very cool. Very cool. Around the edge, a little bit of stars. Is it water coming off of our waterfall? Or are they stars in the sky? A couple little stars inside of our scene, way back in the sky, back in here. There we go. Little teeny flicks, guys. Teeny flick. Woo! Look at that painting. My heckaroo. Good night, you guys. This one's number 776. And later on tonight, I'll be painting 777, guys. Painting number 777. Right, which is going to be on this much bigger canvas. Same size as we did last night with the double portal. So I'll probably do, look at, it's got some white spray on it already, which is fine. They're going to be stars anyway. But yeah, I'll probably do another double portal scene. Or maybe go this way, since we did the other one, this one. We'll go this way. But 777, that one's coming up later on today. This one's 776, and we still need a name. I mean, you guys might have already chosen a name. And who knows, Cosmic Lighthouse probably even pinned it in the, to the top of the thing so I could see it. I just haven't been back there to look at the title. I haven't been back there. I gotta clean these brushes off. So, she might change her mind. Keep coming up with titles. Keep typing them in. She might change her mind if you got one that's better than the one that she chose. While I finish washing off all these brushes, otherwise I'll forget. Then I'll go pick up London from the airport, and then we'll come home and we'll have rock hard brushes, and that's not good. I gotta at some point get Bailey from her sleepover last night. We did 2 paintings last night. Guys, please go check out my Etsy store, please. There's more than just this available. We've got blue seascapes. I've got a purple one. I've got, what do we've got? We've got the big green and yellow and blue one. That's a purple seascape right there inside of a portal. I've got tons of paintings, guys. All numbered, all original paintings. Original paintings. So go to Paint with Josh, right? paintwithjosh.etsy, because I sell through Etsy.com. paintwithjosh.etsy.com. And you'll really help me out. Buy a hat, you can do anything. It's anything that you get over there is going to help me out. Right? If it's a painting, if it's a print, if it's a hat, if it's a shirt, all sorts of stuff. We have in all different price points. So I'm a full-time artist now, guys. I literally yesterday was my last day of full work at my job, and I'm literally, this is what I do for a living now. So the more you guys support me, like Cosmic Lighthouse just did by buying this painting, the more free videos I can give to you, the more cool times we'll be able to go. It's not going to be just late nights anymore, right? Because I don't have to work. I can go during the day. We can do like Monday at 9 a.m. Why not, right? Why not? Let's rock and roll. We can do whatever we want. So, I need your support, guys, though. It's not about just buying paintings. It's not about just buying merch and hats. It's about tapping the screen, about shooting the comments, about sending it out and sharing it with your family and sending it over to grandma or sending it over to your daughter so the grandkids can watch it, right? And then everybody's going to want to get back into painting. And I swear, if enough people keep saying that I'm the next Bob Ross, it's going to happen, guys. It's literally going to happen. Like, if enough people say it out to the universe, it's got to come true, right? Gotta. I mean, that's my literal dream. What I wouldn't give to be able to just go on TV and teach you guys how to paint. We'll do an hour-long show. We'll do all sorts of stuff. We'll have different artists come on, guest spots. Oh, it would just be fantastic. Have people from all over the world come fly in to do an hour show on the Paint with Josh painting show. Man, that'd be fantastic. In my opinion, guys. I don't know if you guys would watch that. We could have battles. We could have in-person battles, like sit there and like bump into Bram so he makes a mistake on his painting while he's doing it. Like, how funny would that be? And then he'd bump into me. Like, it'd be so funny. It'd be like a Royal Rumble. How good did your painting come out? Well, he hit me with a chair in the middle of it, so I kind of streaked across the side. But yeah, it turned out good. And then I got him in a rear naked choke while he was doing his moon, and it got all streaked. You know, it would just be funny. It would just be funny, in my opinion, anyway. Painting battle. That's the real painting combat, when you do it in person, and you can sit there and mess with the other person. Be like, gotcha. Or like flick paint onto Bram's canvas from over here. That'd be kind of cool. Well, here, Bram, I'll do your stars. And I flip them from way over here. That'd be neat. That would be neat. I don't know what you guys think. I'm just entertaining myself over here. I do it a lot. Talk to myself. That's all I do is talk to myself. No one's here to talk to me, so talk to myself over and over and over. I think that's how people go crazy, right? When people go stir crazy talking to themselves, right? Me and Smeagol up in here. All right, so let's come back. We're going to check the titles. I'm all done cleaning. All right, K. Jones. gives me Shire vibes. All right, what's the title, guys? What are we looking at? Little does he know we talk back to him. I know, but I can't see it all the time. I'm not on the other side of the canvas. Let's see, Forbidden Garden. That sounds good. I have so many Northern Light paintings. I really do. I've got tons and tons of them. Cosmic Falls. Oh, no, yeah, we'll put the birds in. And the best part about these paintings, guys, I almost forgot to tell you. So, when the portal paintings get purchased live during the show, the buyer gets to add their family of birds as well, or a shooting star, or not anything at all. It's totally up to you. But I think it's a very cool way to firstly incentivize you guys to buy during the show, and makes it more fun when it gets purchased during the show, right? And then secondly, you get to be immortalized in the painting with me and my birds forever. Like, that's cool. I think it's cool anyway. Let's put the little guys way back here. Little teeny guys. Way off in the scene, right? Mine always go in the portals, and then the buyer can go on the outside somewhere. So, Cosmic Lighthouse, thank you for whoever reminded me about the birds. Thank you for that. And how many birds are in your family? Do you want your birds in the painting? What's the title? Let's see. Yeah, what's the name again? I forgot. I'm here behind the camera now. Somebody type it in. Let's see. Somebody type it in. Ooh, Emerald Falls. Wicked, wicked. I like that. Evergreen Valley. Starry Haven. Gravity Falls. I love that show. Moonlight Falls. Should be called Zero Gravity Falls. Oh, man. Let's see. Come on, guys. What is the title? Blessings in Shades of Merlene Green. I like that. Emerald Falls. She picked Evergreen Valley. Where the heck is she? Did she leave? Evergreen Valley. That's what she chose? Title is pinned, Evergreen Valley. Okay, that's it. By Destiny, you're giving it to the shout out to Destiny Renee. Evergreen Valley. Evergreen Valley. There's no evergreens in it. Evergreen Valley. That's what we're going to rock it with today. So, I'm going to be very careful right here because this part is not designed to hold it and sign it like it is on the bottom. So we're going to be very, very careful. It's like just barely even hanging in. Well, I guess we got enough room. Let's not go too crazy. Oh, jeez. Here we go. All right. My goodness. You guys know there's that little center piece, right, that runs through the thing. I don't want the painting to touch that. All right, here we go. Evergreen Valley. That. Number 776. Boom. Evergreen Valley. So remember, guys, if you want to support me or buy any of the paintings or the hats or the shirts, or I've got pillows. I've got little couch pillows and stuff. They're so cute. Go to paintwithjosh.etsy.com. Check out my website, paintwithjosh.com. That's got the schedule where all of my schedule's listed, and anytime you want to know if I'm painting or not, or when I should be painting, it's all on the schedule over there on paintwithjosh.com. So hang on one second. I'm going to do this part while we're here, because the top section, you guys know, it gets all covered up by our easel, and then it doesn't look, and it doesn't even look like it has paint on it. So take the top. There we go. Just make it look like it's got the same amount of paint on it as everything else. Stick it back up here. Boom. Gorge, you guys. Cosmic Lighthouse, I'm super grateful that you chose to paint this. And every time that she buy, they always turn out fantastic. I don't know, she's got like some witchcraft or something. Some sort of astrology, Cosmic Lighthouse is in retrograde every time that she buys a painting, because it always ends up being a fantastic one that I wish I would have charged more money for, right? That's the thing. Every time it turns that she gets one, I'm like, oh, this was going to be a good one. And I think she got it for under $200. under 200. I can't even remember. I think it was like 193. So 40% off, guys. You get awesome paintings, free shipping worldwide. And I think she got this one for 193. I'm pretty sure. It's been a while since I saw the number pop up on the phone, but pretty sure that was it. Turned out fantastic. You guys are fantastic, and I just love every single one of you. So, yeah, it's been fantastic. I just love saying fantastic. No, it's been a great time. I'm going to turn off YouTube and Facebook, and then we'll do our TikTok little wrap-up show and answer questions and stuff like that. So TikTok, don't go anywhere. But Facebook and YouTube, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. You can always go back and rewatch the stream, learn how to paint it step by step, and I can't wait to see your versions. Send them in to me on Facebook or Instagram, and it's going to be fantastic. So I love you guys. Take care. See you later. Boom! Get them out of here. It's over. At least on Facebook and YouTube. Oh, it looks so good on YouTube.